and what you can do from home to continue to build your incredible network and your brand during this time of social distancing. I am so appreciative. We had over 300 people register for this digital event. I hope people weren't expecting like a cocktail party type event. I can't wait till we get back to that. But this is going to be more of an educational event. And we're really excited to share some of the things you can do while you're at home on your couch or in your living room, even with kids running around and dogs and craziness at your home, to continue to build the relationships that you have in this industry. So Lauren, how many people do we have so far? Should we get started soon?
I think maybe we'll give it one more minute just because I'm seeing even more people joining as we speak. But again, we had over 300 signed up, and so many of you are new to the PartySlate family. So we're excited to not only share all this great educational information, but share more about PartySlate with you as well.
That's great. And while we are waiting for some more people to join, wanted to tell you our next digital event, I keep calling it a webinar, where correcting me. So our next digital event is going to be on a topic that I'm very passionate about, which is organizing, archiving your photo portfolio, and that includes your videos too. So your video and photo portfolio. I've talked to so many of you over the past few years on, I need to organize it. I need to get it together, and there's never enough time. Well, now that there's some time, we really feel that your photos are your digital gold. And now is the time to really organize and come up with, not to geek out, but a whole taxonomy on how you archive your photos, how you can find the photos, and importantly, the credits and your event partners tied back to those events. So that's next week, which we're excited about. So just doing a quick time check. It's 2:03 here in Chicago, and I think we will get started.
Yeah, can't wait. Take it away. And I'm going to be popping in with your questions. We're taking a look at what you guys are asking, so feel free to post questions throughout, and we'll keep it conversational and let Julie answer as many as she can.
Great. And I want to say I see so many people in the chat room that I know and appreciate. I see Hope Weiss, Wendy Pashman, so many people that I have grown to love in this industry over the last 4 years. Just for those of you who don't know me, I started PartySlate about 4 years ago. I have 20, I like to say 20, but really more like 25 years of digital agency experience working with some of the biggest brands in the world. And I was planning all these corporate events and fundraisers, and could only find kind of wedding blogs. I couldn't find a place to get inspired and also contact those professionals. I used a website called Houzz, Houzz. I'm obsessed with Houzz, and to redesign my kitchen. And I looked at this business model where these, kitchen designers and architects could share their portfolio. And if I found something that inspired me, I could save it, but also contact those kitchen designers to help me with my redesign project. And that's when kind of lightning struck that I needed something like this for the events I was planning. So although I was never an event professional, I was a person that planned about 50 large-scale events as a client. And I really built this because I wanted it. And then I started interviewing people. And I think I dreamed about this business for about 4 or 5 years before I had the courage to quit my job, raise some money, and start PartySlate. So today, PartySlate is a great platform to share your work, build your brand, and drive leads. But it's also a great place for people like me that love to plan parties to find new ideas. And so we, during this difficult time, I will get emotional. I've had so many conversations with you on how difficult it is right now, but I want to tell you how inspired I am by the people that are helping your communities, the people that are helping each other. And so we want to give back to this community. And so we're going to do digital events. We're going to publish your work. We're going to keep people inspired during this really challenging time. So thank you for joining me. To all my friends on the call, my colleagues, new people that I haven't met yet, I appreciate it. So on that note, I'm going to jump right in.
Ready to get started.
Okay, great. I am a total digital geek. So if I ask questions throughout the whole time, Lauren is going to be like my talk show co-host and ask questions along the way and after each section. So just to get started on the agenda, there's 3 things I'm going to cover today. I could spend all day with you, but I'm going to spend just an hour. So the 3 things I'm going to focus on: how you can embrace and grow your digital network from home, is mastering LinkedIn. I've been using LinkedIn for a very long time. I'm very passionate about how it can help your business and help your brand. But there's some really exciting new things that LinkedIn is doing. I'm going to talk about that. Number 2, I'm going to talk about this concept of crediting and how crediting people, whether it's through Instagram, PartySlate, any other platform, can strengthen your brand and really extend your digital footprint. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is video. And if anyone has great video ideas to stay connected, please share them in the chat room or ask a question, and we can talk about that as well on the call. This call will be recorded, so you can share it with people. And we're also going to post a little article and link to the recording. So to jump right in, let's go talk about LinkedIn. There's 5. This is a little my visual aid that I have for everyone. Does anyone have something that looks like this? A bunch of business cards that you were well-intentioned, that you were going to connect with those people or email them. You didn't get time. Well, maybe now you have some time to do this. LinkedIn is a great way to take it from the physical to the digital. So I'm going to talk about optimizing your profile, building and growing your network, posting amazing content. And I call it kind of micro content. It doesn't have to be long blogs. It can be posts with a hook. Leveraging the power of endorsements, and then creating or joining a group. So those are the 5 areas. And then I'm going to give a demo. Hopefully the demo works. I did practice. So number 1, optimizing your profile page. Many of you kind of think of LinkedIn as, oh, you can stalk people, you can find people. They're doing the same to you. So your profile page needs to be optimized. There's a lot of stats on how much more engagement you can get on a really great profile page. So number 1, we all in this industry especially should have a professional headshot. Professional headshots, profiles that have photos on them, have 14 times more views. Also, professional headline. This is an underutilized resource. You can really include SEO keywords, search engine optimized keywords. So for example, for my headline, I put helping event professionals build their brand, drive leads, and grow their business. That's my headline. Think about what type of headline you can put that will show up in search results in LinkedIn, but also just give people a snapshot of who you are. The about summary. Many people jump right to your experience level. You can have a short about summary. It could be your bio. It could be a little introduction to who you are. This section's also overlooked. I've looked at a lot of profile pages that don't have this, but it's very important to your profile page. The third thing is experience. And even if you started your own company and you only have 1 job to list and you've been doing it for 20 years, make it a robust section about how long you've been doing it, a description of your company. People do look at this. So even if you're working with a client, that client is going to Google you, and your LinkedIn has very, very high search authority. They're going to find you. They're going to see your LinkedIn. The last thing, I'm on the National WIPA board. If you have associations, your education, anything you think helps give people a better picture for who you are is great. But also don't underestimate, I went to Michigan. When there's other people that went to Michigan, they have the whole Go Blue connection. It's another thing that you can have in common with people that want to connect with you. And I'm going to actually do a demo after I go through these 5 areas. The next section, number 2, is build and grow your network. Many people just wait for people to link in with them. And then you get this whole list of kind of, I don't want to say randoms, but there are sometimes the real estate person, the lawyer, the financial planner that wants to get your business. Turn that upside down and start proactively building your network. And so I'm actually going to give you a demo of how to use LinkedIn filters and keywords. You would be shocked at how targeted LinkedIn can get. Especially when you put to find people that are second degree away from you. So first degree means people you're connected directly with. Second degree means so if I'm connected to Lauren, it's people connected to Lauren. And so because this industry is so connected, you will find this incredibly helpful. When you do find someone you want to connect with, don't just get lazy, connect. Write a short personal note and don't do a copy and paste. Hey, Lauren, I saw that we're both connected with CJ. wanted to connect on LinkedIn, or I'm doing a webinar next week, I hope you can join, something like that. So make it personal. It takes a little bit longer, but I really think it makes a difference. Number 3, I know you guys think LinkedIn, not all of you guys, but many of you think LinkedIn is still this kind of professional, big company, only post press releases, things like that. LinkedIn is turning in to how Facebook was 6, 7, 8 years ago. The organic reach is incredibly high. People are posting beyond just business updates. Yes, it's mainly business, but there are other updates people are giving. And the most important thing in your post is to post something with a hook if you want to drive engagement. For example, a relatable story, lessons learned, a thought provoker, an open-ended question. LinkedIn's algorithm, like all of these algorithms, rewards engagement. It helps LinkedIn know that this is something that is interesting, and they want to boost it so more people will see it. And then also last night, I'm very proud of myself, I did my first native article post on LinkedIn. LinkedIn will also reward native posts. It takes 3 seconds. If you already have a blog written, if you want to copy and paste it, again, I'm not encouraging duplicative content, which isn't good for SEO, but you could modify a blog post, put it on LinkedIn, and just test it and see what kind of exposure you're going to get. They are going to reward that from their algorithm, native content. So don't overlook native content. It's really important. One thing I want to share with you why LinkedIn at this moment in time, might be only the next year, might be the next 6 months, might be next 2 years, is that there's 250 million active users on LinkedIn, but only 1% are posting content on a weekly basis. And so I am part of that 1%. And I have so many venture capitalists and other people say, oh yeah, Julie, you're killing it. I am creating buzz. I am creating news. Yes, I'm on Instagram a lot, but LinkedIn is another great organic source. And when I say organic, meaning you can get broad reach without boosting or paying for your content to be seen. And so again, many of the thought leaders in this area are saying, Facebook was like this 7 years ago. Instagram was like this 4 years ago. As you guys know, the walls are going up, and it's harder and harder to get viewed and to have a viral post or get wide exposure. Now is the time on LinkedIn. I really feel strongly about that. I know, Lauren, you're sick of me talking about this, but
No,
really important.
I'm nodding my head along. I totally agree.
Okay, good. Number 4, this is probably, I'm putting it kind of in order of priority, but I think it takes just a few seconds to endorse people. Everyone is going through a hard time right now. Imagine how you would feel if some of your trusted partners all of a sudden started, endorsing, which takes 2 seconds. The thing I didn't know, and I just realized yesterday, is you can actually order your skills for people to endorse you with. So I put digital marketing, digital strategy, mobile marketing, because I have 5 years of mobile marketing experience as well. And so you can put those skill sets there, and people can endorse you really, really easily. Click a button. They don't have to write anything. It's just very, very easy. So, show some love to your trusted partners and even clients that you've worked with. So you have clients at big companies or others that you can endorse. It takes 2 seconds to do it. Profiles that have over 5 skills listed have 17 times profile views. So I'm just trying to give you I don't know their algorithm, but there's a lot of writing about this, and LinkedIn shares that these do make a difference. The last thing on this, on the endorsements, is the recommendations. That's even extra credit. If you've worked with an amazing corporate client, or you've worked with an incredible event partner of yours, a venue, write a recommendation for them, and as if you'd be writing a letter. It only has to be a paragraph. This means a lot to people. And so this isn't something I have focused on yet. I'm going to actually go back and get some recommendations. And recommendations aren't for, hey, I'm looking for a new job, I need recommendations, because trust me, I'm not looking for a new job. But what they're for is to give you credibility that you're good at what you do. And I really think in this time of challenge that this is something very nice that you can do for your trusted network. The last thing is create or join a group. I don't want to create kind of a time suck for people. There's a lot of groups all over the place. I love Facebook groups as well. I would just recommend that you pick one group and you see if you get some momentum and some engagement moving. Or if you have kind of a niche topic, create a group and invite people to that. Extra credit for some of you power users or influencers that have a big following. You can create kind of an engagement pod on LinkedIn, and you invite 15 or 20 people that have big followings, and you kind of agree to share and engage with posts that people are making. And again, that will impact your likelihood to get more people to see your post. That's kind of a 2.0 level LinkedIn, so I don't want to overwhelm people, but I will say that that is something that is a great thing to do to get more exposure on LinkedIn. So those are my top 5. Lauren, tell me if you can see my screen still.
I can. So while you're moving to the demo, Julie,
Yeah.
first, big shout out, just seeing in the comments, we have people joining us from Canada, from Mexico, from all over the United States. So thank you everyone for joining. This is so exciting to see. And Julie, just so you know, you have a Go Blue shout out in the comments.
Hey.
I thought that was especially important for you.
Yes.
And then we do have our first question. So while you're navigating to the LinkedIn website, the first question is, do you recommend that we upgrade our LinkedIn account to premium, or can we leverage the free accounts just as well?
Yeah. So I would say, I think it's a good investment. I have the premium account, but I'm on a 6-month free trial. I would say ask for a free trial of premium and test it out. I think you can get a month free right now and see if it's worthwhile. I have, in all my times, not had premium, and I've had a lot of success on LinkedIn, but I just had an opportunity from a friend that works at LinkedIn and got a 6-month trial premium. So I'll come back to you guys on that, but try to get a month free and see if it's worthwhile. But you can do so much without premium.
Perfect. That's great.
Can you see my screen, Lauren, LinkedIn?
I cannot. So if you go,
I'm going to go back really quickly.
There, now I can see it.
Okay, great. So, so this is my LinkedIn profile, and don't underestimate, your profile pic, a professional photo. And again, this is where that headline I was talking about. I put my title and company, and then helping event professionals build their brand, share their work, and grow their business. And again, maybe there would be something different that it would be more engaging, but this is something that I'm trying for now. And as you scroll down, you can see this is a little bit about me. This is more of a bio, but I'm going to consider actually making it more of a personal point of view that really tells people who I am and what I'm about. You can see my dashboard. So I've had 1,500 views. I don't know what time period that is, but I'm proud. I have an all-star profile, so that's good. See, they're making me feel good about myself. You can see all my recent articles and activity here. And then when you go down to experience, I have PartySlate. I have my mobile. People don't know what these companies are, so when I was at Vibes Mobile Marketing, I put Vibes as a leading mobile marketing company headquartered in Chicago. So put the description of what those companies are, and then a little bit about what you have done. Okay, so this will tell you how old I am. So I'm going to go past this really quickly. Just kidding. So here's my education. And then I added, I'm very passionate about cancer research. So I put Lynn Sage Cancer Research, et cetera. So put the things that matter to you. But again, here's my endorsements. 99 endorsements. And I've been in digital for, 25 years. So I've been using this a long time. So it doesn't matter if you have 5 endorsements or 100 endorsements. It's good just to have them here. I do not have recommendations yet. I have not asked for recommendations. People barely give these proactively. So you do have to go back to past managers and partners and ask for those. And then you have interest below. So again, just make sure your profile tells a good story. And that you really have it built out. The thing I'm really excited to talk about building and growing your network is you click on My Network tab right here at the top. You go to our connections. And again, I do have quite a bit of connections. Many people have asked me, do you accept all of them? Here's why I accept all of them. And it could be different for you. I use LinkedIn as a publishing platform to share messaging and to get the word out. If I was using LinkedIn for job hunting or for kind of having a close inner circle of trusted, people, I may use it differently. But I use it for publishing, so I accept everyone. I been getting about 100 a week, and that's a lot. So I'm going to scale back, but I think it's something you have to think about is how you want to accept how you want to accept or reject the invites you get. So I
I
think
think
the key,
I'm gonna jump in with a quick question just
yeah.
as it relates to that. So we got, is it okay to connect on LinkedIn with people who I don't know? Because I think that can be a little bit confusing. And how are you supposed to do that if you're going to reach out to somebody you've never met?
So I definitely think you can link in with people you don't know. And here's why. LinkedIn, you'll have many, many overlaps. So these are a lot of the people I'm already connected with, but let me actually show you in a demo how to do that. So go to all filters. And then what I do is I change it to second and I take off first. First are the people you're already connected with. And then let's say locations, I'm going to do Chicago because that's where I'm based. You can skip past companies. In industries, I just typed in event and I found event services. So I can put event services here. I'm going to skip schools, but you could do University of Michigan if you wanted to find people that went to Michigan. I don't get Go Blue. And then services, I also typed in event. They only have event marketing and event photography. I could probably type in wedding photography. They don't have every category, so I'm going to leave this blank right now. And then for title, this is a new thing I tried this weekend. I'm really excited about. You can put like owner, because I found in the event professional industry, there are a lot of owners, the people that put owner in their title. Or you, again, if it's hotels, owner is not the right title. But just to make the list shorter, I'm putting owner and then I'm applying the filters. And I came up with 300 right now that have the owner title. If I didn't have owner in there, probably 5,000 or 6,000 would come back. And so you got to play around with how you do that. But you can see when you have a lot of overlapping contacts with people, that's where you can feel the most comfortable reaching out to them and saying, hey, I see you know Brad Zerman. I went to college with him. Would love to connect and then have some sort of messaging there. So I think the key is if you have an overlap, which trust me, this events industry, there's so many overlaps, you can find a person in common and write a personal note and connect that way.
Perfect. And I think just to jump in, we're getting a couple people who joined late, which is wonderful. We will be sending out a recording of the whole presentation. So don't worry if you had to join later, if you have to hop off a little bit early.
Yep. And so the last thing I talked about in our 5 ways to really master LinkedIn is publishing content. This is the most important thing. And I think people, again, are underestimating how powerful LinkedIn is to share content. I shared this webinar, multiple times. I got so many great feedback, highly engaged. People are on LinkedIn like they're on other social platforms. So you type in, your whatever you want this to be. Your note here can be 4 or 5 sentences. Ask a question, start with a hook. I'd ask people how to, LinkedIn tips and tricks. I got a lot of responses, and then you can add a photo. Again, this is just like Instagram or Facebook, very similar to Facebook. I would say you can add a video. When you add a native video or a native photo, that means into the platform you're uploading it, you will get many, many times more views than just sharing a link. And I know that takes more work, but think about if you want to get a post widely seen, think about uploading them directly. The one other thing I'll say, again, that what I tested last night is writing an article. It is so easy. Again, I don't want to create more work for you, but try doing maybe one a month or one a week where you take a blog post you've already written or a post and you create an article where you put a headline, you put the text here, you can add links to it, and then you publish it. It's very, very easy. So going back to my profile page last night, as I was doing some cramming for this webinar or digital event, I just put, this love letter to the events industry. Many of you have seen this about the 100 Million Moments poem that is a tribute to all the hard work of the events industry at this very difficult time. And again, I didn't link out to anything, but I did link to the video here, and it was very, very easy. And again, you can add photos. Again, just another thing to test. I don't want to create more work for you. I think the most important thing is micro posts, which are these short posts that you create just like other, like Facebook, etc. You can have a link out. Ask a question, link your professionals that you've worked with. And I know many people wouldn't think to share inspiration on LinkedIn, but if it's a trend that you're seeing, or if it's some sort of something that's new or different, I would try it and see if you get some engagement. I really think it's a good thing. Okay. So
Well,
that was
we're about 2:30, Julie. So, and I'm seeing a couple other questions come in. We're going to gather these. I'm actually seeing a great question about hashtagging, which I think we might cover on a whole future digital event. So we're going to keep these, and we'll come back to them at the end.
And the thing I'll say about hashtagging is it's the same as other platforms. Think about anything related to your post and add hashtags. I don't know if hashtags are a big thing on LinkedIn yet. They are pushing to do them, but I don't know if it's a huge driver. And so I'll get back to you on that. Okay, so we talked about LinkedIn. And again, I'm going to do a recap at the end on the top 3 things that you can do. Let's now talk about crediting. During this challenging time, I believe one of the best things you can do to, number 1, keep people inspired, but number 2, giving a shout out to your partners is crediting. And I know all of you guys that are in the event professional industry that are on the call are already doing this on Instagram. I will just say, make sure you're not only doing the formatted crediting either in the first comment or in your description for your Instagram post, but also, don't forget to actually tag people in the photo as well. Again, I know this is very basic, but tagging in the photo as well will also push that photo out to their feed or into their photo section. So that's really, really important. Crediting to us is really, not to sound geeky, but a network effect strategy. And so we know how connected everyone is in the real world. Take those incredible relationships that you've worked very hard to build and extend those and help yourself while doing it in the digital space. So Instagram, again, I give people an A+. People are doing a really good job here. But again, don't forget to tag your photos as well with people. One other thing I'll say is personal tagging, if you feel comfortable, will give you like 20x the impact. So I know when people tag me, Julie Roth Novak, on Instagram and PartySlate, it makes it easier for me, for example, to share stories where I'm mentioned or if I'm in a photo. So don't underestimate how important it is. Some people, their personal I can't handle, and their business are the same. But if it's separate, find out what those are, and you can get twice the impact. On PartySlate, really what we have done is try to amplify these relationships that you have in the real world. So for those of you who are new, the profile page, similar to everything I just talked about at LinkedIn, the PartySlate profile page is kind of the visual identity on PartySlate for your business and your body of work, whether it's photos or videos. When you upload an incredible event on PartySlate, you can you can credit your event professional partners. Every category you can imagine, you can credit. You decide if you want to do 5, 6, 10 credits. That's really up to you to decide. And if those people are on PartySlate already, they will get an invite and your work will show up on their profile page. And I'll show you this on the next slide. And then vice versa, you will also show up on the venue page. So the power is you post it once, and similar to LinkedIn in a way, your work gets pushed out to their profile page, and you also get connected to the venue. And I know everyone who's in the business on this call knows the venue is often selected first. Sometimes it's a planner, sometimes it's all different, but many, many times people are like, I got to get the venue, I got to get the venue. And so when they're looking at these venue pages, you'll be listed as an event professional that has worked in this venue. And so I'm going to give a quick demo of what this looks like. Can you see my screen, Lauren?
I'm watching for it to change.
Okay. Let me go right back and share my screen again.
Yep. So now I see LinkedIn.
Can you see? I think, let me make sure I'm in the right one. Hold on. Can you see my screen now?
I can see your screen, yep.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go to PartySlate, and I don't know if some people on the call.
We actually just got a question that is a really great kickoff to I think what you're going to be doing is what if most of your vendors are not already on PartySlate?
Yes. So if they are not on PartySlate, we automatically invite them to create a free profile page. So let's say The Four Seasons Palm Beach was credited by a New York planner. They did an event down there and they're not on there. They would get an email, you've been credited by whoever the planner is that's in New York. And then they will create a profile page. And then their first event, which is amazing, that will show up on their profile page is your event. So if you look at for example, Four Seasons Palm Beach, where we did our one of our launch parties last year in a different time, if you scroll down here, you can see a visually arresting photo cover, which is really important. You can see that they have 18 events, over 400 photos, and then you'll see there's 46 pros who have worked at this venue. And so as you scroll down, we have our PartySlate Insight because they are a premium member, so our editor adds that. As you scroll down, you'll see their video, their welcome video, and then you can see their gallery. And so you can see that PartySlate credited them on our launch party. I'm just going to keep going down here so you can see Touch Party Design credited them, Carrie Zach Events credited them. So if you click on Carrie Zach Events, you'll see this is now we are on Carrie Zach's profile page. And here is this beautiful event with all of the credits that showed up on the Four Seasons page. And then they might say, oh, I want to look at Carrie Zach's events. Maybe I'll work with her as my planner for my Four Seasons event. And you go to her profile page and you're going to see, I'm confident that she's got credits. She does. Exquisite Events credited her. Let's see if there's a couple more at the end. Lux Rocks Photography credited her. And I'm sure, wow, she's got a lot. There's a lot more.
Events. So I think one other follow-up question is if somebody uploads their own event photos to their profile page, somebody is asking, how do I link my work to my new profile when I create a profile for the first time?
So when you create your profile for the first time, you're going to go through, well, first of all, you can go to For Pros section and you can create a free profile. So we'll help you. We'll send a follow-up. We can help you with that. But when you scroll down here, your first event that you upload is just going to show up in this spot. So it's already linked to your page. So we decided early on that we only want professional photos from the event professionals that actually did the event. So if I'm a bride and I love my event and I want to upload it, I can't upload it to PartySlate. So the only way photos and events and videos get to PartySlate are through a profile page. That's where they live. And so to answer your question, the first event that you upload will show up right here on your profile page. And when you click into it, anyone that you've credited here, it will show up on their page. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Lauren, did I answer that?
Sorry,
Okay.
mine's a little delayed, I think. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then one more question that goes back to Instagram is, do you recommend tagging in the caption or tagging the actual photo or both?
So Lauren, since you guys are the social media experts, I know how I would answer it. My answer would be both, but I know we typically put the full credits in the first comment so that it doesn't look too long.
We do. So I think that it depends on your brand. And I think that it's good to put it in the first comment for us because we make sure to tag and credit as many people as possible. So it can get a little bit long, but we want to give everybody credit who was involved. And then tagging the actual photo, what that does is that'll actually allow your photo to show up on somebody else's Instagram feed, not in their main feed, but when you go to which photos they've been tagged in, it'll then show up there. So it's this powerful mini network effect on Instagram that if you tag them in both places, it does different things.
Yes. And then the one other thing I'll mention is from our perspective on a PartySlate, when you upload your events, the more recent and the more credits and the more complete your profile, and of course we also put premium members in here as well. You can see featured. You will also show up in our real events feed. So this is our wedding feed that you can sort by color, by type of, wedding, rehearsal, dinner, etc., styles, guest count, location. So you can put Chicago. And this is another, it's not a true network effect, but it's kind of expanding your digital footprint. So your photos on your profile page get pushed out into our ecosystem in many ways. One is through the real events and photos section. Another, you will be found in the directory. And then obviously we have a full editorial staff and we are writing articles every single day especially in this kind of uncertain time. We're getting quotes from you on, how to best postpone helping party hosts figure out how to postpone their wedding. I've had friends and I've heard of, others, even people at PartySlate that are engaged, crying over uncertainty. Like, this is really real to people. And so we're trying to also provide a lot of content, but we also want to inspire people right now. And so, 26 orchid can't even talk, orchid wedding centerpieces that showcase their cascading beauty. So that was beautiful, Lauren, or Pamela, I should say, whoever wrote that one. So anyway, we want your work to be connected through your network. And so the more I use LinkedIn, the more I see similarities. Yes, we have a lot of Instagram and Pinterest-like traits, but the linked connections in this industry are some that I've never seen before in my life. Dinner parties and every night of the week and helping each other. And I just love the connectedness of this industry. And we want to help expand that on PartySlate. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Lauren, is there anything else, any other questions that are coming up that you want me to answer?
While you're navigating back, because I think, oh, there we go. I see your screen again.
Yep.
We had a question from a premium member. So hi, Megan, how are you? And she's asking, do we need to be making updates on partyslate.com to our profile, or do you guys handle that for us?
So we have our white glove service, which is part of our premium membership. We have a team of about 6 or 7 folks that are uploading photos day and day night. Well, maybe not all night, but all day, and tagging and SEO optimizing your content for you. If you don't want that service, you can do it yourself. And we just want to be as helpful as possible and want to really get your work up there any way we can. So you can do it yourself, but we also have a white glove premium member service where we do it for you. I might have a kid coming in soon. No, sorry. False alarm. I know you guys can relate to that. So yes, good question. Thank you, Megan.
Great. And I think we're good for now, but keep the questions coming as Julie moves through this next section.
Yes. Okay, great. And then the last section on video, I keep trying in all this pain and suffering that people are feeling right now to find silver linings. And I think one silver lining, my daughter said, "Why do you keep saying silver lining?" I'm like, I'm trying to be optimistic about the good things that are happening in addition to more family time and connectedness. Like, I do feel in ways closer to my team and many of you on the call through these really intimate video calls where you have your dog and your kids and we're having a drink together and, making a closer connection through, newer technologies. I know, conferencing has been around forever, but things like Zoom and others are just really, really transformational. So there's 3 things that I'm excited about, and I know you're already doing. So many of you that call be like, "Of course, Julie, I'm doing this already." But I just want to emphasize how you can use it across the board. Number 1, staying closer to your clients. It's so easy to just, call a mobile phone and just check in. Instead, do a FaceTime or do a Zoom call or do something and, tell them to like, "Hey, bring a cocktail to our meeting at 1, maybe a little later, 5. You can use a lot of technology to go through floor plans. And I just think, again, seeing your clients' homes and pets and kids or, or whatever the situation is, I think you can use this time to use video to get closer. And I know people are already doing this. I'm seeing it all over social media. I had a college reunion. Maybe we wouldn't have even had that college reunion had this not come up. So I think people are craving intimacy and getting close. And I think this is a great way. So that's with your clients. With your teams, whether you have 2 people or you have your teams count people on working on an event together. With my leadership team, we're having daily stand-ups and it's 15 minutes and we jump on a Zoom and I don't know, it just makes my day start in a better way. I think it's really important. We are having town halls. The picture on the right here is of our first video town hall. And we did an icebreaker. I know people know I like icebreakers. What was my icebreaker on this one? Oh, I think your favorite snack.
Your favorite snack or your favorite workout, which I think a lot of us quickly pivoted to your favorite snack.
Favorite snack. Yeah. So I think that was really fun. And yeah, just keep communicating. And, some people I know are doing like open lines where they're like, hey, from 9 to 10, there's going to be, anyone that wants to pop in. We just don't have hallway conversations like we used to. So I think that's great. And then I will say sessions like this, I've been joining some of these sessions, educational topics, hosting these digital events, as we're calling it. I so appreciate some of you guys that are doing these live streaming, whether you're delivering food to hospitals. Got off the call with Joanne Gregolia, who's doing sewing masks and working with some of the elderly and making masks for hospitals in New York. I am following, and it's uplifting to see. I am not great at doing the, hey, live streaming, I'm on my phone. I want to get better at that. But those of you who are doing it, it's working. So thank you for brightening my day and maybe making me laugh, maybe making me cry. But I really, really appreciate it. Also want to say there are a lot of digital learning platforms out there that are very low cost. I've considered signing up for Masterclass. It's not that much money. And, just to continue to learn and keep the mind going during this time where we're feeling a little, I won't say a little, I feel boxed in right now. So the tools that I like best or I use the most, Zoom is the most. You can use Zoom for free for 40 minutes for a call. And then if anyone on that call has Zoom Professional, they can upgrade the call to unlimited. We use Slack for a lot of communication. In the past, I had not used Slack video. It's amazing when you're in Slack, again, which is an instant messaging platform that most all tech companies use, and I know many of you use it as well. You can just convert it to a call instantaneously. It's pretty powerful. And then I have to say, because my husband works for Google Hangouts, it's very easy to use. And then Skype, again, an oldie but a goodie. It doesn't matter what you're using. And of course, FaceTime, I forgot to add that. I just think that make all your calls video. I've had calls, I did put makeup on for you guys, I have to say. No makeup, wet hair from the shower. Maybe we are all just using this as a time to get closer and to get to know our more authentic selves and how we are at home. And I don't think that's a bad thing. But maybe every once in a while, washing your hair, putting makeup on is a good thing. I need some highlights. I'm just kidding. That's my summary of things that you should think about for video. So I know there'll be some questions, but here's what I'll say on the action plan. Like, let's say all of this was too much. You don't want to think about it. Here are 3 things you can think about for each one. LinkedIn. Go to your LinkedIn profile. And if you don't have self-awareness, send your LinkedIn profile to me, Julie at PartySlate.com. I will look at it for you. Send it to a couple of friends. I just did this for a friend before the shutdown at a coffee shop. I'm like, you only have 200 contacts. I forgot to say, everyone on this call should have more than 500 contacts. That's the 500 plus on LinkedIn. I go to like one event and everyone knows everyone. So they're like, including your past colleagues and friends and family, everyone should have 500. There's no question. Optimize your profile page first before you do all the LinkedIn outreach. Do the way I said, using filters, or sometimes it's just kind of nice to look through what people, who's posting in your network, people and then see who they're connected to. But I really recommend, if you do a targeted search, you're going to know like 20% of the people that come up in your location because you're targeting it. The third thing on LinkedIn is post content. The window is going to shut for LinkedIn. It is open now. I remember companies on Facebook and even Instagram that were getting hundreds of thousands of followers. You guys know that doesn't happen anymore. You got to do a lot of work. Right now, it's not a lot of work if you're smart on LinkedIn to get a big following. So please post your content. Second, crediting. Now is the time. My next webinar is going to talk about organizing your photos and videos and getting organized to publish your work and credit generously. So do not think, I think what we've decided at PartySlate is we have to keep inspiring people. We have to help this industry. We've got to keep people engaged, but we do have to acknowledge the situation we're in. So I think it was our editor who said that we have to nod to it in the copy and talk about during this uncertain time, everyone needs inspiration, things like that. We can't just start, doing business as usual, but people want to be inspired. So do not underestimate that people want your inspiration. And it's not inappropriate to share, wishing I was in this destination resort and remembering this amazing couple that I work with. It's okay to do that. I think I encourage you to do it. On Instagram, credit in your stories, personal and businesses. Don't forget your photo tags as well. And then on PartySlate, use the PartySlate profile to kickstart your digital network. So we are not LinkedIn in that you can filter and find people. That's not the goal of PartySlate. We're much more like House, an inspiration platform, but use your profile page to amplify this amazing work. And also, by the way, help people that aren't as good as posting photos. So of the people on this call, there's probably 20 or 30% that I would say you have your photo act together, you're posting. The rest, we're just not up to date. So you are helping your partners by crediting them, and your work will make their profile look better. By the way, it also helps you when they click on it, they come back to your profile page. Video. Transition, I would say all, even if you don't have makeup on. Lauren can say she's never seen me look so run down.
So beautiful, Julie.
Thank you. Natural, and switch to video calls. I am telling you, it makes a big difference. Consider doing daily stand-ups. You may even think I don't even have that much to cover today. Guess what? A stand-up is important to just connect people together. And you can even just talk about how you're feeling about things. Sometimes our stand-ups are just connecting on how are you getting through the day, right? And then the third thing I'll say is join sessions like this that keep you connected with learning, growing, and you've got to stay productive during these times. And I know many of you are scrambling right now, so I can't speak for everyone. But there's a lot of funny videos are hey, I watched everything in Netflix. Now what do? I know that's not this group, but LinkedIn is actually fun. Posting your work on PartySlate is actually fun. Maybe I'm just a geek, but it's finding people and networking, and this industry is all about networks. So I think you can make these things fun, and they don't have to be like a chore. All right, I've talked a lot. The last slide, how we can help you and how I can personally help you. We will start, if you don't have a profile page yet, and many of you I know on the call, but if you don't, we will start it for you. Again, you can email me, julie@partyslate.com, and I will get you to the right people. Number two, I actually like doing this. Send me your LinkedIn profile once you've spruced it up, and I will give you feedback on it. And I also like to do that for websites. And I do this late night when I'm watching my reality TV shows. I like to do this. I want to help you. Third, Lauren, who is our amazing marketing director, we want your ideas for great content, for things that are happening in the industry, for amazing events. And what's the best email address, Lauren, for people to send ideas to?
They can send it right to me, lauren@partyslate.com.
Yeah, so Lauren will, again, push it to the right person.
Yep.
And then our next webinar, again, something that's really important to not just your PartySlate profile, not just your LinkedIn content, but creating efficient proposals and all the other things you need your content for, is how to organize and archive your photos and videos. I'm going to talk about how to use Dropbox. Many people use it, but there's a lot of new tools that Dropbox have created. I'm going to talk about using Google Sheets or Excel to track all your credits. I'm going to tell you how we do it with our events. We've had about 30 events, and how we archive our photos and what we found is best, so that when we need a photo for an article, again, if it's not on PartySlate, that we can quickly find it. So I'm excited about that. So just doing a quick time check, we have 10 minutes left. And I appreciate all your amazing, amazing comments and questions coming in. So thank you. Lauren, we could probably take about 5 more.
Yeah, so the first one is a great one in terms of content on your PartySlate profile page. Is there a suggested number of real events that's a good number to post to your PartySlate profile?
Yes, so we suggest, at a minimum, 9 real events make the page look full. And so the reason I don't say the more is better, which is what I really want to say, because that does impact our algorithm and how you're ranked and how content gets out there. I always say, so I don't overwhelm people, start with 9. Okay. After that, I suggest you come up with a rhythm to post your new content, 1 or 2 events a month. Imagine if you did 2 a month. And again, it can be events from 5 years ago. It doesn't have to be just new events, even 10 years ago. I mean, you don't want to do like the 80s events with like the seat cover, the seat chair covers. Some of you are too young to remember that, but they were not that great with like big bows in the back. So you don't want those events, but anything from the last 10 years, it's still new. And I was talking to a leading event designer in LA yesterday. He's like, what's old is new. Like, so don't limit yourself to just the last year. And so I say, do 2 a month. And so imagine after a year having 24 events. And the thing on the PartySlate profile, which I can share, wait, hold on a second. Did I stop my sharing?
I see your, oh, there we go. Now I see the PartySlate website.
Okay, so I'm just going to go, Kehoe Designs is one of the very first event design companies that really helped us get content up here in Chicago. When you look at their profile page and you come down here, they have 474 events. Now, some of those are credited events, right? So they didn't post 475, but they've been posting events over the last 4 years. But if you look at this, if you break it out by type, they have a wedding shower, they have 5 rehearsal dinners, they have 44 galas. So imagine if someone in Chicago was planning a big gala, the SEO power of having all of these galas, these gorgeous galas here on their profile page is amazing.
And I think another question, as long as we're on the topic, somebody asked, do we need our photographer partner to post the professional photos, or who is allowed to post them, and how does crediting from their work?
Yeah, so you do not need your photographer friends, just like you can post your own to your Instagram page. You do not need your photographers to post them for you, but you do need the photos from the photographer. So typically what I've seen is, there's a big event, and within a week or two, and if it's a corporate event, sometimes sooner, you get that kind of highlight reel of, 30, 40 photos. And that's a good thing. We recommend anywhere from 20 to 50 photos, depends on the event. We don't recommend you put 100 photos in. You need a curated view of that event, but get the photos just like you would for Instagram, just like you would for your other marketing purposes. Archive the photos in a Dropbox or whatever you use, and I'm going to talk about this next week, and then upload them to your profile page. If a photographer already uploaded them, you can just use it as a credited event and have it on your profile page. We feel that there's power in you controlling the narrative, what your event description says, how you how you credit the photos. I think it's better that you control that. But at a minimum, if they tag you, it's already on. They credit you, it's already on your profile page. So right. I always say you have to own your photo portfolio. So for the photographers on the call, the session next week isn't as useful for you because you have to organize your photos, although there are some additional things for publishing. But for everyone else who's not a photographer, you have to have this asset, which is your photos. It's your gold, marketing gold. Let's say PartySlate's having a big article and we need a photo, or Vogue is calling you, whoever, you've got to own your photos, even for your own blog entries. You've got to have them and own them. And so we think you should be posting your own photos.
And then there's already actually a lot of excitement in the comments about our next digital event topic, which is great. Can you talk a little bit about the schedule of our digital events and when they'll be?
Yeah, so we're going to do them every Tuesday at the same time, and we'll see if this is a good or bad time for people. The next one we're doing is on this organizing your photos and your videos. We also talked about doing a dedicated one on PartySlate profile best practices. We also, and Lauren, you can jump in, but we're going to do one on social media best practices. And then our editor, Pamela, is going to talk about best practices for getting published. And believe me, publications, PartySlate, everyone else, I mean, we're more of a platform, but we have this amazing best of section where we write articles. They want your stories right now. They really do. So we have some great ideas for that. And then Lauren, maybe you can share a couple others.
Yeah, I think, and the best thing that would be so helpful to us, because there are so many topics we could cover and we want to cover, if you email me at lauren@partyslate.com with topics that you're especially eager to hear from us about, we'd love to prioritize those. So feel free to send us your ideas of what you want to hear from. But we're also thinking about talking to our director of product about behind the scenes of our product roadmap, exciting features that we have coming in 2020. There's just endless topics that we can cover. So we're excited about it.
I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Bruce in London. Bruce Russell, thank you for joining from overseas and listening. Hashtag motivated. Thank you. You made my day, Bruce. I'm looking at all these comments and the people that have joined. This is really overwhelming, and I feel for everyone right now. And oh my God, again, this is recorded. I'm getting emotional. I just want to thank you guys for being here so much.
This was incredible. Yeah, this was our third one. You guys, honestly, I'm excited to share this just amazing conversation thread with our team, because it's going to be motivation for us, just like this was motivation for you guys. So thank you so much.
Yeah, think beyond Netflix, guys. Like, we can keep keep everything going. I know some of you are making tough decisions with your business. All of us are feeling it. But this is not a time to slow down. This is a time to work on the business versus working in the business. I know there's a lot of people that say that, but all your projects, your business building, your brand building projects, now are the time to do this. We are doing a lot of these projects. Our roadmap is stronger than ever. What we're building, new features, new functions to help you guys publish more content and to really become better digital marketers. If I could take all of the 25 years of digital experience I have and give it all to everyone on these calls, that's what I'm going to do. And even more importantly, getting my team, who are smarter than I am, getting them to present these different practices, best practices around social, SEO, getting published, profile best practices. We're going to keep it coming once a week, and let us know what you want to hear about. And do not hold back. I feel isolated just like everyone else. Julie at PartySlate.com. Email me. It might take a while to get back, but late night, I'm always online late night. I will get back to you and help any way I can.
And look out for the invitation for our next digital event. We're excited to see everybody week after week. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, Julie.